Hello, you guys. It is a meta moment. In this meta moment, we're going to be talking about the rollback of the DEI. And I'm going to say my piece on the fact of why I personally believe we do need DEI. Because if you haven't seen my last post that I had posted on X, it was about being in a position of because there was such a cultural gap that something as simple as a misunderstanding became an accusation of abuse and neglect. Let's get into it. So, long story short, I would have to say around 2017, I was accused by two white women from my son's school of being abusively neglectful. Yes, these were teachers of his, and one was a social worker. And I'm like, I get it. You're doing your job. So, of course, they wanted to follow up. Now, the thing is, when you come into context of what the accusation is, there was a lot of gray area because it's like, technically, can you really be abusively neglectful? It's either one or the other. But I guess if you strategically make it up into a thing, it's possible. So, yeah. The thing though, also, it wasn't, and this is why we need these conclusions because one, technically, I was not being accused of being abusively neglectful. I just so happened to be, from their words and the paperwork, enabling my spouse at the time to be abusively neglectful. And in my mind, I'm like, so now I'm under investigation because I'm enabling someone else to be abusively neglectful to my child. Understand? Now, when they asked and they did the investigation, and long story short, through all the cruel things, in my personal opinion, that I had to go through from these women to prove that I, even though technically the allegation was not against me, I had to do the most to protect my family, my son. And I was very hurt by how the things went down. In fact, still to this day, if you were to ask me really key details, people like to try to blow over it because they know they weren't on the good side of the story. So yes, it's very easy to be like, yeah. They may act like it never happened. They may even pretend. But long story short, because of the lack of fundamental understanding of the environment that I specifically came from, and my child was being reeled in, the people, they didn't understand that you come into this area for just employment. You don't even live in this environment or engage with any of these people other than their children. And unfortunately, when I did some research on the school, because I thought this was very strange, I did research on the school, and there was a plethora of single Black women who was accused of the exact same thing from the exact same women that worked at this school. The thing is, which I thought was very interesting, it was like, again, why work in an area where you don't understand the cultural values, the cultural norms, and then try to, shock the status quo? I thought that was very interesting, but I had to understand the level of privilege that when you come from a place of privilege, you feel, of course, what does these people of poverty not gain from engaging with a person like myself? So, of course, whatever I say rocks and goes. And I had to evaluate that in the conversation that I had when I was being accused of this and that. And I made forth the effort to say, you people. Because, again, they were trying to make it seem like I was trying to accuse one of them of how things went down. And, of course, I can see how they thought that was my mentality, that it was this person. And that's why I made sure to say, you people, as in all of you, because there are three women that sit in the privilege of being white and Caucasian women that frequent urban areas as an educator and assume you understand the core values of what it takes to live and thrive in the area that you just come in to get your paycheck. So, of course, I understand that you thought because this girlfriend over here that actually spends more time with my child that I was accusing her. And and actually I was accusing all three of you for lack of better understanding of what it's like to be a minority and impoverished without privilege, without the scapegoat of my skin color. So again, it was just, unfortunately, it riled her even more because I know what she was trying to do. You were trying to use, this woman is cute, so of course you're going to blame her. And I'm like, no, I blame all you bitches. I blame every single one of you pasty bitches that thought that y'all knew better than me on how to raise this black boy. Yes, I did. That's exactly how I felt. That's exactly how I still feel. I don't give a fuck how you feel about it. And again, getting back to my point, this is why we need DEI, because unfortunately enough, my caseworker, the person that they had called to come investigate this supposed neglectful abuseful neglect by a second party that I am enabling to abuse my child, right, was a black woman. And not just any black woman, a black woman that came from a similar neighborhood like myself, came from an impoverished community, put themselves through hard work, and struggle into a better position, and they're feeding back into the community. Thank God I got that. Thank God that there was a program like DEI that allows someone with a perspective and a fundamental understanding that there are people out there that are not going to have the things that you have simply because they don't even have the privilege that you have to get these things, so that when they show up as their authentic self. And sometimes it don't look like you. Sometimes it don't resonate the way like what you're familiar with. It just doesn't. So of course I was very grateful for her. Very appreciative of her, still to this day, to where she had to sit down with me and my child in an unconventional setting and pretty much tell me to my face without directly saying something like, you need to whip that little boy fucking ass, because I don't know how. She said he's neglected. That little boy is fucking spoiled. Minus the curse, obviously minus my demeanor and my curses, but that's in a more educated and respectful manner. That's literally what the lady told me, and when she closed my case. That I'm not doing enough, that I'm gonna have a problem because I'm not doing what I need to do to put this person in the position to thrive as a black man in the community where the world is already trying to cut him fucking short. And I'm not helping by being the pushover parent. In fact, because that's what she told me when she closed my case. She said, to be honest, I feel like you need a little more backbone when it comes to this boy. And that's why when you sit down with a person who's never been in your situation and it can never come from where you come from, and they see that, because again, they could never be in your position, but they could cause you all the problems in the world with their and their lack of understanding. That's all it really is. So this is why we need DEI, because it's between the three, because I forgot, there was a third one in there too. There between these three white women that was trying to take my child, and this one black woman that saw that this was a bullshit case and that she ain't coming back. But she had to do her job at the end of the day so that women like this could learn to shut the fuck up. And stop acting like they know things, because they come into a place just for their paycheck. And everything about them is surface level. Nothing is beyond, there's nothing deep on it. And again, that's a meta moment and a story time at the same time. So this is why, again, I propose that you support any company that supports DEI, because again, this is how we understand the whole spectrum and not just the points that make you feel comfortable. And again, this is a meta moment, and I'll see you in the next one.